Hey guys, welcome back. It's Shelby and we are in the season of gift giving. So today I am going to be making a gift from scratch and kind of from some unusual materials. There is like a method to the madness though. So since we're in Minnesota, I got a Minnesota cookie cutter and I'm gonna try and work with that. And then also I'm just gonna like melt plastic and use clay and a bunch of glue, and honestly, I'm not even 100% sure what it's gonna look like, but basically I just want like a really nice sentimental ornament, and this friend only sometimes catches some of my videos, so I'm really hoping she doesn't catch this one, and that I don't spoil the surprise before giving it to her, but that is what we're making today. I'll link what I used down in the description below, particularly the state cookie cutter, because that's pretty cool, and let's get going. So we're starting this off with two items. These two right here. So these are just assorted plastic beads. The thing about them is they are translucent. That kind of is important when you're doing this type of craft. Second off, I have this Minnesota shaped cookie cutter. Is that not the cutest? And it comes with a little recipe, which I love, which I'm probably not going to use, but like that's honestly adorable. So the filled in cookie cutter here, like their logo stuff, that's basically what I'm making. And instead of cutting cookie dough with this, we are going to turn it into a fun little ornament. So those are the two items to start with. So start by lining a cookie sheet with some parchment paper. You don't need a lot, but it does need to cover the bottom of your cookie cutter. Go ahead and pull out whatever pony beads you want and put them in the bottom of the cookie cutter. I chose purple and blue, and I'm arranging them in kind of a single layer thick amount. I don't want a solid chunk of plastic at the back of mine. I want little gaps and holes. I want the beads to be just melted enough that they stick together. Once you have your base layer, go ahead and pop it in the oven. I have mine set for 350, and basically watch it. It depends how big your beads are and how thick of a layer you do and how much you want them melted. This looks pretty good to me though. Okay, so our ornament is nice and dried, which is great. You'll notice that metal and this plastic stuff doesn't really, I don't want to say connect. It doesn't meld together in the oven, like the metal doesn't melt. There's nothing connecting them, so this will pop out. At this point, you can just give your friend a lovely little state-shaped ornament, but for me, I want the cookie cutter to be part of it, so what I'm gonna do is pop that back in. It should fit relatively easily since it was literally formed in there, and you can make it like halfway up if you want, but I want it just at the back the way it was. And then I'm gonna pop in just a little bit of E6000, just a really strong glue, just along like a couple little points. I'm just scraping it against the edge of the cookie cutter and hoping that it makes this little lip. And then I'm gonna push the plastic back into it a little bit and hopefully make a few connection points so that the melted plastic, what I'm using as kind of like a sun-setting sky, like the purple and blues, it's meant to be like a sunset in the sky. Hopefully that will kind of sit back against the glue and it'll create some connection points and some sealing points, and it's gonna kind of stay in place and stay put, because that's what I'm going for. So I've just scraped some E6000 onto the edge. I'm gonna come up and just kind of push my melted plastic just up to the edge like that. So it creates like this little lip of glue. Just put that upright to dry. Pull out some oven dry clay. So I've got a lot of color in there, right? So I need something to offset it. So I'm gonna use this kind of pearlized translucent white and a touch of red. Now let's pop this into the oven for, what do the instructions say? 30 minutes at 230 degrees Fahrenheit. All right, so the glue is kind of tacky, but basically dry. This is what we're looking at. I'm definitely gonna leave the inside silver so it reflects the lights, which is really cool, but I might do something on the outside. The idea is like the house in and among trees. So I've decided that I'm going to put it at the bottom and then add some moss for like little bushes and stuff. So I think the moss needs to go in first. Also, I'm gonna offset the house up a little bit So the first step will be to put down a layer of moss here. Just a tiny little piece. Like that would be actually super perfect. We'll put the little bushy parts off to the side. It's the right size. We're just gonna kind of load up a little bit of E6000 at the bottom. I need a little thing to move it with. Okay, well, in my absence, the glue has actually moved quite a bit, but whatever, I'm gonna move it around a bit. Here we go. And I'm going to put in our little bit of moss, which looks a bit like grass and hopefully bushes. It doesn't take up too much room, doesn't take up too much of the purple. Perfect. And then I'm going to put some glue on the bottom of the house. And this is kind of the tricky part. Ooh, way too much, but whatever, it needs to go in through the moss. What I'm trying to do is like have it be like coming out a little bit, you know? I don't want it pressed up against the back. I want a little bit 3D. So this is actually kind of super perfect. So I can hold it and show you guys like that. Like there's space back there. And it's just kind of forward in 3D a little bit. So I like that a lot actually. So I need to set it like this to dry, and then I'm gonna put a little bit of glue just on the edge where the roof connects. I think that's gonna help. It's only on this side, but I think if I can just get a little bit of glue in there, it would help a lot. There we go, and the glue's clear, so as long as I don't mess up the application too much, it looks okay. Yeah, that should be fine. So we're gonna set that up to dry. Okay guys, I don't know if this counts as a close-up because the glue is definitely still drying, so I really can't like spin it around too much. It needs to balance, but look how cute that is. It's perfect. The light comes through the melted glass in the background and bounces around the inside of the cookie cutter. And then like the purple you can see kind of looks like the setting sun. The moss is perfect for grass and bushes, and it's just got like a cute little house. And this very much says like home in Minnesota. So I think it's great. The only thing is once it dries, I'm gonna add just like a dollop of glue on the back and just a tiny little, you know, piece of ribbon or like tiny little thread. That's it, just so they can hang it on the tree. But I think this is fabulous. I hope you liked it. Thanks so much for joining me on this one, and I'll see you here again soon. Bye for now.